and dogcraft world are considered worthless, many couples still stay together in spite of it. Why? Because of the time they spend together. Because of this really crazy, totally.
Hello, assalamualaikum. Nasi Mitra. Ini kita mitra. Kita main ke escape. Sebab mereka ini pada saya tanya. Oh, ini kita baca. Hello, follow me, mama ni je. Hello, ini pada ni. Yep.
Never seen before concept called love. A concept that clearly eluded Zector. Saris asks Shizuko if she's mad at the old man, and the ever-gentle lady answers that she is. Blindingly so. But at that point, she can't do anything about it. But suddenly, a menacing aura surrounds her as she adds that Zector's going to burn in hell anyway. And that, kids, is how Saris learned that Mama's got a scary side. In any case, Saris is sorry for making her remember those painful memories, but Shizuko's really happy that he bought an old lady like her. And God, does happiness look gorgeous on her? Saris blushes, and he assures her that she isn't old, which Shizuko giggles at. He's the only person who'd say that. Seeing her lively visage reminds our resident Chad why he fell for her in the first place. Shizuko's always smiling. Back when he was a kid and his parents died, she was the one who encouraged him. Everyone in the village was so kind to him. And that's part of the reason why he wanted to help Zect and his other childhood friends. Still, among them, Shizuko was special. She was always so lovely to him, and she was the best woman for the role of a mother. After a moment of thought, Saris tells her that she really is a wonderful woman. Another giggle leaves her. With a prettily flushed face, she says that she'll do anything for him. So, should she cook something delicious? Hearing such an innocuous and motherly suggestion makes Saris realize that in her eyes, he's nothing more than a kid. But, well, it is what it is, he thinks with a smile. Saris hasn't given his answer yet, so Shizuko adds that since she's his slave now, is there anything he wants her to do? To that, Saris boldly says that if it were up to him, he would be happy if Shizuko were to be his lover. Shizuko's smile falters, but she shyly wears it again, telling him that messing with love isn't funny. In her eyes, she's just an old grandma who's almost twice Ceres's age. She really isn't worth his affections. But Ceres is serious. He reminds her that he confessed to her when he was a child, and that's when Shizuko fully realizes just how much time has passed. When did he even get taller than her? She remains bashful though, and while twiddling her fingers together, she comments on how handsome he is. He probably has a bunch of cute girls all over him, like his childhood friends, for example. Yeah, no, Zek's already done the hokey pokey with all of them. Shizuko's quite dismayed to hear this. What poor taste they have, she says. Ceres is far better than Zekt. Oh, Zekt, your mama's roasting you. Oh, well, if Ceres insists, then Shizuko accepts. Until he finds a girl that he likes, she will be his lover. The two share a tender smile. With Shizuko's hand in his, Ceres's life with his first love, and the mother of the friend who betrayed him, begins. Even late into the night, atop the soft bed, their hands remain clasped together, their fingers intertwined. Nothing naughty happened though. The two just shared a bed, with Ceres's body turned to Shizuko's as she sleeps. While she seems to have accepted her fate, Shizuko's still in shock over being sold into slavery. She ended up crying all night until she fell asleep. As for Ceres, his heart was pounding so much, he couldn't sleep. But that's fine. Just watching her and being in her presence satiated him. Soon enough, Shizuko awakes, and the two greet each other a simple good morning. Ceres then realizes that he's still holding her hand, so he immediately apologizes, but the woman assures him it's fine. She knows that he was holding her hand because she was crying. What a kind boy you are, Shizuko gently says. The two of them have a peaceful breakfast together, and to Ceres, it feels like life can't get any better. He just never tires of being around Shizuko, sharing smiles, laughter, and love with her. Afterward, they go to the Adventurers Guild to register themselves as a party. The guild receptionist, Sally, warmly greets Lord Ceres, but her tone changes when speaking with Shizuko. Should an old bag like her even be doing this at her age? She bluntly asks. Both Ceres and Shizuko are taken aback by the question, and a horrifying aura surrounds said old bag once more. She forces a smile, but underneath it, she probably wants to whack Sally. She doesn't bite, though, and she tells them that there's no need to register her. Instead, she would like to apply for the reinstatement of her status. The news has Ceres shook. She was an adventurer. Damn. Sector and Zek never knew about it, though. She quit before she got married. Shizuko knew that their pride and ego knew no bounds, so she kept quiet about it. Sally doesn't seem impressed, though. She just asks to draw some blood from her so they can check the blood registry. Suddenly, the guild master barges through the door behind Sally's desk. He bows, vehemently apologizing for how Sally acted. Stammering, the man asks if Shizuko's returning to work, and with a chuckle, she confirms this. Smiling cheekily, she asks Barry if she shouldn't, making him ask her to stop the Barry thing. He's the guild master now, after all. Shizuko then corrects herself and calls him Beldar, while Ceres just watches them, thinking about how absurd this story's gotten. He was just in it for the pretty mama, who knew that she was an adventurer in her younger years, who had even the guild master scrambling to make sure she's being treated well. Shizuko cheerfully asks if it's fine to reinstate her status, and Beldar immediately says yes. No way he's gonna oppose the black-haired healer's return. A confused Ceres asks what he means by that, so Beldar explains that Shizuko was a big deal back in his day. In fact, she was the master healer who was leaps and bounds above the rest. To this, Shizuko does her trademark giggle and reveals that she is a former S-ranked adventurer. Oh, close your mouth, Ceres. A fly's gonna enter your hole. But he's still shook. Shizuko, the love of his life, the fire of his loins, is not just beautiful, family-oriented and open-minded, but she's freakishly strong too. It's too much. That makes him wonder, though. If she's that tough, how did she get enslaved so easily? Beldar then tells her that she's been out of the field for a while, so he can't just give her back her S rank. She'll start with A rank for now. With that out of the way, he excuses himself and lets Sally take care of the rest. As soon as the guild master's gone, Sally bows, and loudly apologizes for how she treated her. Well, it's fine with Shizuko as long as she's really sorry. Though all this is still too much for Ceres, he finally closes his gaping pie hole so they can take on a quest. Shizuko suggests they take the Slay on Earth dragon quest. That one may be the weakest of the dragons, but it's still a tough endeavor. As much as Ceres doesn't want her to come along, he can't really do anything about it, so he allows her to go with him, on the condition that he'll fight alone while she sits back and watch. On their way to have a picnic lunch, Shizuko explains that she was actually partying with the mothers of Ceres's childhood friends. Lita's mother, Haruka, Mei's mother, Seo, and Maria's mother, Misaki. Ceres recalls all of them being very good people to him. On top of that, Shizuko shares that they're all highly skilled adventurers. Being an all-women party, they were often approached by strange men. They'd always beat them at their own game one by one. But after they went past a certain age, no one dared approach them anymore. Soon after that, Shizuko became an ordinary village girl and got married. Ceres then asks how she got sold into slavery, so she explains that Zector had drugged her from behind. Imagine being in the A-Hole Olympics, and your opponent is Zector. Automatic L. Once more, Shizuko emanates some really sinister energy as she mulls over how he had the guts to betray her like that. Addressing Zector, she darkly mutters that his head will roll the next time they meet. Ceres, on the other hand, just watches her with a perturbed expression. They soon have their picnic, with Shizuko feeding her new master-slash-lover, while said master-lover insists that he isn't a kid anymore. He sure looked like he was enjoying it, though. Eventually, they arrive at their destination, and they come face to face with the Herculean mammoth of a dragon. Though the sinister, roaring creature looms over them, both adventurers look immovably calm. Ceres tells Shizuko to get back before facing the dragon by himself. When it tries to crush him, he jumps out of the way with ease, coolly noting that it can't move too fast. It's his turn now, and with his sword, he uses wind magic. He decapitates the dragon with a clean slice, easy as pie. But then, Shizuko screams at Ceres to look behind him, and the moment he did, he sees another dragon emerge from the rocks. Its body is an assemblage of stones and scales. From its appearance alone, it's clear that it won't go down as easily as the earth dragon did. The rock dragon breathes a burst of fire towards Ceres, who immediately tries to block it with his sword. But before anything could happen, Shizuko jumps in front of him. She summons a holy wall to protect them from the dragon's attack, which almost gave Ceres a heart attack. Didn't he tell her to stay back? But she's there now, and she asks him what they should do. With a smug little smile, Ceres responds, "Do you even need to ask?" He then launches his freeze spell, summoning a jagged ice burst towards the dragon. Ceres uses the ice to propel himself upwards, and with his blade, he decapitates his second dragon of the day. Easy as pie. With that, Ceres stores the two heads inside his teeny-tiny dimensional bag, and they return to the guild with their rather macabre haul in tow. Sally's terrified, and she screams at them to take those to the warehouse, where Beldar appraises them. He wonders how Ceres hunted the rock dragon, and the boy only gives a vague answer about jumping at it, slashing its neck, and dropping its head. Very helpful. After getting their pay, Ceres and Shizuko leave the guild all smiles. They raked in quite the riches. They sure did. But Ceres' smile quickly drops, and he shoots a disconcerted glare Shizuko's way. Didn't he tell her to stay back? With an apologetic look, Shizuko glances down and admits that she was worried about Ceres getting hurt. That's why she jumped in to protect him. Seeing her earnest expression, Ceres drops the grumpy act and smiles again. He's not a child anymore, he reminds her. He'll be the one protecting her. As Shizuko stares at Ceres, she feels her face getting redder, and she looks away, her heart beating loudly with feelings she doesn't dare name. And so, time marches on for the pair. While Shizuko's cleaning their house, she thinks about how they're lovers now. As lovely as Ceres is, she's still rather hesitant about the entire thing. Shizuko thinks of herself as an old lady who shouldn't get her hopes out. After all, he's probably just lonely. After a while, Ceres returns from his trip around town. He came back earlier than she expected because he wanted to see her sooner, so he did a speedrun of his work. Touched by his saccharine sipping, Shizuko expresses how glad she is to hear that. And just like that, Ceres is invigorated. This is it, he thinks, the healing power of monks. His former teammate, Maria, was the saint of their group, but she may as well be a fake since her powers could never come close to Shizuko's. If anyone deserves the title of the saint, it's her. Bro, did Shizuko even do anything? She just smiled. Anyway, Shizuko wonders if he's alright since he got quiet all of a sudden, and our smooth operator answers that he just became speechless looking at how beautiful she is. This embarrasses Shizuko, who once again calls herself a grandma. She isn't used to being praised like this, so it'll take some getting used to. Ceres gently asserts that she isn't a grandma. At most, she's more of an auntie. Hearing that makes Shizuko's heart go bada bing bada boom. If she had one more hand on her cheek, she'd be doing the Unogasai pose, with Ceres sincerely asking her to ease up on her self-deprecation. She promises to be more careful with her words. Pleased, a smiling Ceres calls out her name before pulling something from his tiny dimensional bag. Shizuko's in for a surprise as Ceres whips out a huge bouquet of roses and offers it up to her. Big things really do come in small packages. Now, this could be an allegory for his ding-ding-dong, but let's not sully their wholesome moment here. Shizuko is touched by the gesture. Her smile softens, and she thanks the kind boy while looking like Ceres' vision of beauty. That night, the two of them head out to feel the cool breeze. Shizuko's very grateful for his kindness and generosity. No one's ever treated her this nicely, and it's not even their
Yeah.
anniversary. But Ceres isn't done yet. Excitedly, the boy tells her that he still has one more thing to give her. He's been waiting all day for the perfect moment to give it. He offers her a box, and when Shizuko opens it, the woman is stunned into silence. It's a gorgeous and ornate necklace. In this world, the act of giving someone a necklace is equivalent to giving a ring in Ceres' previous world, and that's why Shizuko can't accept it. She asks him if he knows what it means to give a girl a necklace, and without missing a beat, he answers that he does. Though Ceres' sincere demeanor rings true, she's sure that if she were to accept the necklace now, he'll one day come to regret it. As if reading her thoughts, Ceres continues, "I truly love you, Shizuko," he says. "There's no one better than you." While
Yes.
Shizuko stares at him in disbelief, he goes on to
Oh.
insist that he wants to be the closest person to her. He wants to see her angelic smile, now and forever. A neglected woman like Shizuko, who lives in a world that's hellbent on discarding her and punishing her for the curse of simply living a long life, never expected to hear such loving words, especially from a boy who's still in his prime. With tears in her eyes, she asks him if he's really sure, if he won't come to regret this. Ceres takes her in his arms, and while holding her close, he promises that he won't. She's the first person he's ever loved in that world. Finally, Shizuko resigns. She accepts his embrace, along with the necklace, the tangible proof of his undying love. Later at home, Shizuko's now bathing and mulling over her situation. No one's ever treated her like this before. Sector was a complete womanizer who slept around with other women and never got her anything. But Ceres, he's been in love with her since he was little. Of course, she never took it seriously. She thought that he was lonely since he lost his mother at an early age. Besides, he'd generally say the same things to Haruka, Seo, and Misaki too. But now, she understands that he's always been serious. Therefore, tonight will be the first time she'll have done it in 10 years. She's a bit dismayed, though. Her body's out of shape, and she's unsure if she can take the vigor of a teenage man bursting with energy. Yes, she said teenage man. Anyway, she wants to please Ceres, and wishes that she were 10 years younger. But by then, Ceres would be around 4 to 5 years. Okay, that's enough. She shouldn't keep him waiting any longer. While waiting for Ceres to finish his own shower, Shizuko clasps her hands together and asks for the forgiveness of a woman named Maruna. But her fears and trepidation go into torpor as Ceres returns and eases her into the motions. After dancing twice in the span of a single night, Shizuko can't help but think that she can no longer live without Ceres, who has made her reach the precipice of womanhood. The next morning, Shizuko wakes up after pretty much passing out and falling asleep. She's resting on Ceres' arm, who didn't even sleep a wink because her sleeping face was just so cute. Boy, when was the last time you slept? Anyway, Shizuko's about to get ready for the day, but Ceres holds her wrist. Does he want to go again? You bet he does. After their first hokey pokey of the day, Shizuko tells him how glad she is that he's so eager to please her. But boy, did he leave her drained. He sheepishly apologizes, but inwardly, he's wondering if he's always been a crazed corn dog. Since she's tired, he lets her rest for a bit and prepares their lunch. He even drew a heart on her omelet with ketchup. While eating, they discuss their next course of action. Ceres thinks about how Shizuko's an S-rank adventurer, which is huge. There are less than 30 people in the world with that rank. If he could stay with Shizuko as his wife and live a quiet life, that would be enough for him. Unfortunately, doing that would get him in trouble with Sect and the others because of his father, seeing his indecision. A terrifying Shizuko sweetly suggests that they pay the village a visit. She'd just love to give her ex-husband a punishment, so to speak. Ceres is a little perturbed, especially after hearing the word punishment. He doesn't know what she wants to do, but what he does know is that he's better off that way. Leaving that aside, he shares that he was thinking of going back to Jamuna village and living there quietly. Shizuko's pleased about this, especially since they both want to meet with Haruka, Seo, and Misaki. Speaking of those three, they're living pretty lonely lives these days. Haruka's always helping her husband Kazuma with his restaurant, since that's all he's interested in these days. Seo, on the other hand, is pretty much a household slave for her oppressive farmer husband, Kaido. Meanwhile, Misaki's slaving away in the household and general store of her selfish husband, Shudo. Hearing all this has Ceres rather dumbfounded. As Shizuko puts it, their love and relationship with their husbands have entirely deteriorated. Until now, Ceres doesn't have any particular goal in mind for when they get to the village, but he'll see once he's there. Now that that's out of the way, the boy cheekily asks if they can go at it again tonight. leaving Shizuko to comment on how amazing young people really are. Though a lot has already happened since Ceres was kicked out of his party, things are bound to get more exciting, especially with more of his former party members' mothers waiting on the horizon. He may have been betrayed by his childhood friends, but that's no problem. For if someone is being a bother, just get with their mother. Zect and the others better watch out, or they'll be calling Ceres Papa in no time.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel.
Hey, you look pretty.
Hmm?
Are you free right now? Do you want to grab a cup of tea with me? Wait, are you crying? Please don't cry. What's wrong?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, wait! My name is Koki Kamachi. I'm just a plain high school junior, as you can see. I just tried to hit on a girl for the first time, and it was a disaster. You're lame, Koki. She even said I'm sorry. I knew that would happen. That's why I didn't want to do it. You're so timid. It's hilarious. Show some guts, dude. She was gorgeous. I know that. Takaru Endo and his buddies always give me a hard time for being an introvert. One weekend, they invited me to hang out at an arcade. I lost the game, and as a dare, they had me hit on a girl. Even though it was just a game, seeing the girl in tears left me pretty shaken. A month later.
My name is Yuri Akaga. Nice to meet you all. I hope to become friends with everyone here.
Whoa, she's so beautiful!
She looks like a doll.
The beautiful transfer student was the girl I hit on last month.
Oh,
Oh shoot! I made eye contact with her.
do you guys know each other? Yes,
Ish.
good to hear. You can sit in the empty seat. Thank you.
The empty seat is next to mine. After Yuria sat down, she was surprisingly quiet, and I was relieved. Then, the class began as usual. But when it ended...
You must be Koki Kamichi.
How do you know my name? Hey!
Finally, I've been waiting for this moment for 1,000 years. Koki, when do you want to have our wedding? How many kids do you want?
Excuse me? His comment set the classmates buzzing. Koki, what's really going on with Yuria? Did you pretend to fail at flirting with her and secretly become her friend? There's no way I could pull off something like that.
Koki will be my future fiancé.
What? Fiance? What do you mean? I never agreed on anything like that.
I'll explain everything during lunch break.
With that, the transfer student, Yuri Akaga, returned to her seat. But the nightmare continued until lunch break.
What a coincidence.
What's going on? You're too close. Please let go of my arm.
We're alone here. I wanted to talk to you privately, Koki. I can't wait until lunch break. I won't let you go. I believe it's destiny that we met here.
You can't call it a coincidence if you were waiting for me. Say inevitable or intentional.
You're so smart, Koki. By the way, where are you going?
To the bathroom. I really need to go.
Why are you running away from me? I'm coming with you. Please don't run away. I got you.
No, Yuria, you can't come into the bathroom with me. Get away from me.
I don't want to. I don't want to be separated from you, even for a second.
I mean, why are you following me around? Please give me some space. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes.
You say that, but you'll run away from me.
I won't. Just let me go to the bathroom. I can't take it anymore. After that ordeal, I finally got a breather. But then lunch break came. Yuria, you said you wanted to talk to me, but before we get into that, can I say something?
Wow, could it be? Gosh.
It's not what you're imagining.
Ooh, I got my hopes up a bit.
Today is only the second time we've met, Yuria. Why are you talking about marriage? You shouldn't call me your fiancé. Do you think you can make fun of me because you're beautiful? Please don't push your feelings onto me.
That's harsh. But you asked me out so passionately when we first met.
Are you talking about the day I hit on you?
Yes, I am. You were my first. You were so good.
Hey, that sounds misleading.
Did you hear that? He did it after he hit on her. That was her first time. He's the worst.
Hey, they misunderstood us. Don't say weird stuff.
Did I say weird stuff?
Let's go somewhere more private.
Oh, Koki, you're so bold.
It's not like that. Yuria and I went behind the school building, and I asked her to explain everything. Damn! Why would anyone be interested in that introvert? I'm way better than him. Get away with this, Koki. I had no idea that you were from a financial conglomerate family.
It's not so great. Everyone looks at me from far away and gossips about me. I've never had anyone I could call a friend.
Huh? Let's just
Hello,
hang out
guys.
as friends.
Okay, fine. It's not what I want, but I'll compromise.
Eh.
Please hang out with me as friends.
Kapak ni dia
How
mana?
can I say no when you're crying like that? All right then. Do you want to go somewhere this weekend?
Yes, let's hang out this Sunday.
All right. You suddenly sound a lot happier, Yuria.
I'm just excited that we're taking a step closer to our wedding.
You can't stop thinking about marriage, can you? I'm heading back to the classroom now. Remember,
Oh.
we're just friends. No getting too close.
I'm gonna miss you.
Am I asking too much? A beautiful girl has feelings for me. Honestly, nobody has ever shown interest in me before. I don't know how to handle this. What's it like to fall in love with a girl? I have no clue. A few days later, on Sunday, Yuria and I came downtown to hang out.
I'm glad it's sunny. What a beautiful weather.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, what happened to the man in black? I don't see him around today.
I sneaked out of the house without telling him.
Again? Are you sure you're not going to get in trouble?
I know, but I didn't want him to interrupt our date. I wanted it to be just us.
This isn't a date. We're just two friends hanging out.
Oh no, Yuria. Koki wouldn't like it if you pushed him too hard.
Yuria is so cute. Oh, is that you, Yuria? Funny running into you here. Takaru?
You're...
Your classmate, Takaru Endo. I've been meaning to ask you, Yuria, but what's so special about Koki? Why are you on a date with him? You should come with me instead. I know better places than he does.
Koki and I aren't on a date. We're just friends hanging out. Please don't just casually use the word date.
Oh, I see, Yuria. You wouldn't want anyone to think you're dating Koki. I mean, I'm way more attractive than this introvert.
The word date is a big deal to me. That was really rude of you, Takeru. I do want to go on a date with Koki, but for now, we're just hanging out as friends.
Huh? What are you talking about? It's too complicated. I don't get it. Anyways, just forget about Koki and come have some fun with me.
Please stop.
Hey, Takaru, I don't think Yuria likes that. Hey, Yuria, stop hitting me with your purse. It hurts. Cut it out. Yuria, that's too much.
Can't stand pushy guys. I hate anyone who makes fun of Koki. They're not getting off easy.
Miss Yuria, are you okay? I've got this guy under control. Stay away from Miss Yuria. Ow! Let go of me! I just grabbed her arm. She started it. Yuria admitted that she hit Takaru first, and he was let go. What the hell? The Kaga clan is freaking scary! I'm sorry. It turned out the man in black tracked Yuria using GPS and gave her a lecture for sneaking out without telling him. After that, he said he couldn't ignore his duty and kept an eye on us from a distance. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Started because of something that happened yesterday. My parents are always busy and are never home, but I always respected them for their hard work. I was studying every day to become a respectable adult like them.
You're always studying, aren't you?
Her name is Meg Watanabe, a childhood friend who lives in the house next door. She used to be earnest and innocent looking, but now she is the chief of the ladies' gang.
You're too serious and boring. You'll never get a
Okay.
girlfriend.
I don't need a girlfriend.
You can't get it even if you wanted. If you love studying so much, why don't you marry a textbook?
I know you've never had a boyfriend either. Are you okay, Kai? The only one who worried about me was Otakuda, my only friend. He also goes to the same cram school as me. I'm used to it. Don't worry. Thank you for worrying, Otaku. My name is Otakuda, not Otaku. By the way, you two look like you get along. You really don't need a girlfriend? What part of this did you think was getting along? Anyway, let's go to cram school. That night. Cram school sure was long today. I have to eat dinner quick. But a girlfriend, huh? Otakuda said I got along with Meg, but... Meg sure is my type visually, but she's got a tough personality. Whoa! Is someone inside? No way. A robber? I'm opening it.
Hold on.